The empress was skeptical about it, but she agreed to it, since rejecting will only show that they have inharmonious relationship to the public. However, the empress was bruised by the decision, as her husband, Sovieshu, loved another woman. She has no choice but to accept the emperor's proposal. Duke LG Claudia, a close friend of Prince Heinrich, visited the palace for sightseeing after the New Year's celebrations. The empress was surprised to learn that he was with a slave, Rashta, not Prince Heinrich. She signed the documents permitting his stay and continued with her work. Laura also added that they seemed close because Duke LG punched a nobleman that insulted Rashta. Rashta was flattered and invited him to enjoy her favorite food. Rashta and Duke LG had a conversation. She is intrigued by his contrast with the mercenary-like nobles she's met before. Duke LG suggests preventing future ruffians from disappearing, in which he suggests passing the rumors on to someone else so that the rumors about her being a slave will shift. On the day of discussing diplomatic tie with Grand Duke Kapman, the Empress received a letter from Prince Heinrich expressing to trust him. The meeting ended slowly, and the Empress asked why Grand Duke Kapman recommended her despite him criticizing her for handling Rashta. Kapman explained that the Empress could be in charge with this kind of project. Sovieshu approaches Navier, who has been brooding in a conference room. Concerned about Rashta's situation, she asks about his current state. Sovieshu's response is shocking, as he asks if she has a preference for foreigners, leaving her stunned. The Empress is dealing with misunderstandings with the Emperor. She told the Emperor that it is something he should not concern himself. Sovieshu criticizes the Empress for not being mindful of her actions and reminded that she is his wife. Sovieshu asks if she likes Lord Kapman, but the Empress explained that they only talked about political matters since she doesn't want to prolong the conversation. The Empress received gifts from friends and relatives 5 days before her birthday. Her mother sent her a semi-annual magazine featuring portraits of popular actors. The ladies-in-waiting enjoyed the magazine more than the Empress. An anonymous gift called the Elixir of Love was also given, but it was too awkward for her. As the Empress was packing her suitcase, she heard wings pattering in the air and she saw Queen carrying a large box tied with string. She questioned Prince Heinrich about him sending heavy through Queen and should have come in person or asked someone else. She found the box contained a large cake and a letter, and it says it is hoping someone would compliment him on his cooking skills. The cake is accompanied by a blue-colored diamond, which the Empress finds too extravagant. She admits that it was acceptable to receive extravagant gifts from a foreign delegation, but the meaning of the gift was ambiguous. She then hugs Queen, asking why he is crying. The Empress visits the Southern Palace after Queen's tearful departure, expressing concern for Queen. She meets a knight from the Western Kingdom who recognizes her and seems to know something about her. The knight informs her that Prince Heinrich is inside and is worried because he came crying, but he rephrased the words that it is the prince bird that was crying. The knight informs the prince that the Empress was there. The prince seems surprised by sudden visit, as he appears hastily putting on his clothes, and has red eyes and a wetness on his eyelashes. The prince questions if he received the cake. The Empress answered that she received it and came to say hello and thank him. Prince Heinrich smiles languidly and is less arrogant than usual. The Empress said that she enjoys the cake, while Prince Heinrich said that it's his hobby to cook. He believes the Empress and him are meant to be together, since he can cook while she can't. He asked if the gift he sent is too much, and he explained that the Western Kingdom is a jewel capital and many mines are owned by the imperial family. The Empress said that she now knows why he was mistaken for a womanizer, due to his friendly and caring nature. Prince Heinrich cleared that the rumored of him being a womanizer is due to his friend, Duke LG. He asked for a favor from the Empress, advising her to stay out of sight in front of Duke LG. Heinrich argued that getting entangled with Duke LG would lead to unhappiness. When the Empress arrived at the central palace, she found Sovieshu standing in front of the carriage. He had a matter to attend to, but it wasn't an issue for the Empress's birthday. He promised to leave in the evening, as the villa was 12 hours away. Rashta presents Sovieshu with an engraved pendant from Duke LG from Blue Bohine. Sovieshu informs Rashta that she has to go to the royal villa, but her planned departure has been cancelled. Sovieshu comforts Rashta and leaves, leaving her to see Sovieshu off. Rashta is surprised to learn that he is going to the villa for the Empress's birthday. She grabbed his coat and asked if she can come along, as she doesn't want him to be alone with another woman. Sovieshu had promised to spend time with her later, but now he will be alone with the Empress. She tries not to worry, as she couldn't have stopped him even if she had known in advance. Sovieshu arrived and sat at the sofa tired, while Empress Navier noticed that he had a fever after checking his forehead. She received a music box with jewelry and thanked the emperor. As he places the necklace on her neck, a warm and smooth sensation touches her neck. She is surprised by Sovieshu's affectionate touch on her ears, but she hesitates to reciprocate. Sovieshu smiles and holds out his hand, but she doesn't want to kiss him, as he's been with Rashta for over a month. The emperor sighed and left the room, saying he is tired. Navier is alone in a room, sees a large bird by the window, which looks like Queen. She is moved by the bird's embrace and wonders if it is trying to comfort her. Countess Jubal suddenly arrives at the empress room to announce that the emperor collapsed. Rashta, a woman with a history of hatred towards Viscount Roteshu, is hesitant to join him. Roteshu, however, insists that she should pay for the expenses of raising her baby. She decides to give him 3 unattractive rings, thinking it would be better than spreading rumors about the baby. Despite her initial reluctance, she decides to accept the offer. Rashta's anxiety increased when Baron Lant informed her that the emperor may not be able to return tomorrow due to illness. She asked Baron Lant if she could go to the villa to look after the emperor, but he is not in position to give permission. The emperor and empress will send for Rashta if they wish. Duke Elgi, concerned about Rashta's health, asked her if he would be able to tempt the empress to avoid becoming close to the emperor. Duke Elgi suggested that if she loved him, she wouldn't become close to the emperor. The empress advised Sovieshu to rest for a few more days and suggested calling in Rashta to take care of him. The emperor resisted on calling Rashta, but the empress believed it would be helpful if Rashta came, and she returned to the palace. After a week's rest, they returned to the imperial palace, and Rashta locked Sovieshu into a hug. She and Sovieshu seemed unwilling to detach, so the empress went to the central palace alone and ordered officials to bring her the delayed work. The empress take a walk outside the office and noticed Duke Elgi standing nearby. He has been waiting for 3 hours and is a friend of Heinley. Duke Elgi asked the empress if Prince Heinley talks negative comments about him. Heinley claims he has been a cursed doll or a living ghost story, but the duke denies this and insists it's a lie. He also added not to trust Heinley because he is two-faced and is planning something. The conversation ends when the emperor approaches them. After Duke Elgi left, Sovieshu confronted the empress about her preference for foreigners. She asked Sovieshu what kind of man is a good man, and he answered shameless that he is. She then answered that she would look for a handsome, youthful Eastern Kingdom man. Sovieshu agreed and left. Empress Navier reflects on the documents on the table, questioning the meaning of the Duke Elgi and the plan Prince Heinley had been setting up for years. She was curious what was happening between them since Prince Heinley is the one who called for Duke Elgi despite their disparaging remarks about each other.